Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to pick up on the honourable member from Telford, all members from all sides of the House will strive to have every school a good school and for children to be taught by great teachers. Academisation of schools does not in itself achieve that. And I think it's important that we have to make that clear and don't pretend otherwise. Mr. Deputy Speaker, as I start my speech, I'd like to send my condolences to the Cope family. John Cope was a former regional secretary of the GMB. He passed away yesterday, and John fought long and hard for teachers all across North London, fighting to ensure that all schools were good schools. And the schools would always welcome John into their school. And this might be completely off the bat. I could be completely wrong. But as I read through the white paper and trying to make sense of this paper, I kind of think maybe part of this policy is about stopping trade unions supporting their members. I could be completely wrong, Mr. Deputy Speaker. But I think now, more than any other time, that whether you work as a teacher, a cleaner, a dinner lady, a teaching assistant, the one thing that will keep you connected and united as an education establishment is the trade union movement. So rest in peace, John, and the fight continues. In Brent, we have 5 academies. And out of all of us, other schools, only one of those schools is rated inadequate. And the academies that were academies under the Labour Party were failing schools, and they became academies to help turn themselves around, and that is indeed working. But it was a process. It wasn't something that was forced. And I think that is the point that's going to be made throughout this debate. In 2015, last year, I had a parent contact me completely distressed. They are forcing us to turn into academy. She said, will you come to a meeting? And I said, yes, not a problem. I was quite surprised at the distress that all the parents and the teachers were in at this meeting. And I was careful to try and obtain all the facts before forming an opinion, because that is what we do. And I was told that despite the unions and the parents' objections, there were no proper information was given to parents, and they wanted to have a ballot, a secret ballot even. They were willing to pay for this ballot, and the school would not allow this to happen. Strikes followed, marches by the parents, distressed kids because the school was forced to turn into an academy. And I worry that this is what will follow, where other schools are forced to turn into an academy. And I'd like to quote Councillor Melinda Tilley, the Cabinet Member for Education at Oxfordshire County Council. She was on BBC Radio 4's programme last month, and she said, it means a lot of little primary schools will be forced to go into multi-academy trusts, and I feel it's the wrong time, in the wrong place, and I'm fed up with diktats from the above saying you will do this and you won't do that. This is not why I became a Conservative. It makes my blood boil. I'm put in this position where I can't protect schools. One size does not fit all. I think they've gone bonkers. That's Councillor Melinda Tilley.
On that point, will my friend give way?
Of course, happy to give way.
My honourable friend is making some very good points about small rural schools, which I don't believe the Secretary of State addressed when questioned from her own side about. I've got schools in my constituency as small as 13 pupils. What kind of academy trust is going to want to take on a school that small?
Yes, the point well made by my honourable friend. The Chief Executive of England's largest multi-academy trust, AET, has admitted that there is, in fact, less autonomy for schools in academy trust than there is for schools that are maintained by local authorities. It even says that schools will not be able to opt out if the ethos does not fit that of the school. That is a problem. The Secretary of State talks about money going into schools. It is a fact that there has been a cut in the money going into schools. And actually, with the loss of CVA, many schools lost up to £800 per pupil, and pupils' premium did nothing to bring that money back into the school system. It's absolutely outrageous. So, Deputy Speaker, I've been trying to work out what this bill is really about, because it's certainly not ensuring that all schools are good schools and we have a good education for kids in Brent. Local authorities will pick up the legal cost of this. I don't know what the amount is, because apparently we have the amount wrong. We have it at 1.3 billion. The Secretary of State says it's something different. It would be nice to know definitively what that figure actually is. I can say that in London schools alone, we will lose out to £260 million in London schools alone. And my honourable friend for Tooting, who's a Labour candidate for mayor, has said that not only will he work with schools who are challenging, and he will challenge coastal and poor performance schools, he says it's a scandal that more than 44,000 children in London are taught in classes of more than 30, and some are taught in classes of more than 40. And he says that he will play a citywide strategic leadership role in seeking to make a big dent in the school places crisis. I just urge the government to stop and to listen to teachers who are staying, but also for the teachers who are leaving the profession, and just do a U-turn on this flawed white paper.
Will Quince.
Mr. Speaker, first